Hello, sir. My name is Dhruv Singhal and I am from Section H. My class roll number is 17 and my university roll number is this. Now, my topic for today's presentation is service level agreements in cloud based application development and management. Now, here I start. My first slide is what is service level agreement? Service level agreement is the bond for performance negotiated between the cloud services provider and the client. Earlier in cloud computing, all service level agreements were negotiated between a client and the server consumer. But nowadays, with the initiation of large utility like cloud computing providers, most service level agreements are standardized until a client becomes a large consumer of cloud services. Now we have different levels of SLA. First one is customer based SLA, second one is service based SLA, and third one is multi-level SLA. Now my second slide is what are the parameters of service level agreements. The first parameter is availability of the service, which is known as uptime. Second is latency or the response time. Third one is service components reliability. Fourth one is each party accountability, and fifth one is warranty. Now we will see a diagram which shows the dependence of on the cloud model, that we can control more management of IT assets and services or let cloud providers manage it for us. Now the next slide is what to look for in cloud SLA. Why we are studying it, why we are recognizing it. The answer is that the cloud SLA should outline the responsibilities of each party, the acceptable performance parameters, a description of the applications and services covered under the agreement, procedures for monitoring service levels, and a schedule for remediation of outages. SLAs commonly use technical definitions to quantify the level of service, such as mean time between failures or mean time to repair, which specifies a target or minimum value for service level performance. Now, second slide is importance of SLA. First importance is that in any case, if a cloud service provider fails to meet the stated targets of minimum, then the provider has to pay the penalty of the cloud service consumer as per the agreement. So service level agreements are like insurance policies in which the corporation has to pay as per the agreements if any casualty occurs. Second importance of SLA is that an SLA allows us to hold our service provider accountable and details exactly the type of service we can expect. If agreed upon needs are not met, we can mitigate some of the impacts by making our provider compensate for the losses. Service providers also prefer SLAs as it goes a long way in retaining customers. An SLA functions as a blueprint of the service the provider guarantees to provide and can protect your organization assets and reputation. Now, this is the next slide in which we have two major service level agreements present with us in today's era. The first and very important is Windows Azure SLA. Windows Azure has different SLAs for compute and storage. For compute, there is a guarantee that when a client deploys two or more role instances in separate fault and upgrade domains, client's internet facing roles will have external connectivity minimum 99.95% of the time. Moreover, all the roles instances of the client are monitored and there is guarantee of detection of 99.9% of the time when a role instance process is not run and initiate properly. Now, the second SLA we have is SQL Azure SLA. SQL Azure SLA client will have connectivity between the database and internet gateway of SQL Azure. SQL Azure will handle a monthly availability of 99.9% within a month. Monthly availability proportion for a particular tenant database is the ratio of the time the database was available to the customers to the total time in a month. Time is measured in some intervals of minutes in a 30-day monthly cycle. Availability is always remunerated for a complete month. A portion of time is marked as unavailable if the customer's attempts to connect to a database are denied by the SQL Azure gateway. So these were the 8 slides which are all about SLA, and so this is the end of the presentation. Thank you, sir.